India McConnell. I'm doing a discussion tonight for Their Eyes Are Watching God, my book report review. But okay. If you hear any background noises, just ignore that. I'm sorry in advance. That's my dog. He's wild. And my sister is holding the camera for me so I can actually present. All right. Thank you. In my discussion, my paper, I did the theme where earlier generations' mistakes come back and haunts or affects later generations, like Nanny's mistakes and Their Eyes Are Watching God, or her previous actions affecting Janie's actions. In my paper, I discussed slavery. I discussed the cycle of generational dysfunction. I discussed how hard it is to break out of that dysfunction, of that cycle of dysfunction. In slavery, I talked how Nanny, when she grew up in slavery, she was raped, and she had to run away to protect her daughter from that lifestyle. And for when her daughter was like 17 years old, which is Janie's mother, she was also raped by like a white male teacher, and she ran away. Janie herself ran away because she ran away from Logan, which was her first husband. She ran away because she didn't want to be married to him. He was a much older guy, and she wanted to marry for love and not for convenience. But so that's the cycle within that family, is running away when like things get really hard and losing your voices. Nanny taught Janie right before she married Logan that to survive in their environment, this is like early 19th century, 20th century. So women didn't have a lot of voices. They weren't empowered how they are now. And Janie was taught by Nanny that to survive, you are meant to lose your voice. You are meant to conform to society's standards of women, and to be a black woman, and at time was even worse because you're not on regular women's levels, you're just beneath that. Okay, so like with slavery, I did say Nanny did grow up in slavery, but in my paper I went to go back and look what slaves were like, what Africans were like before slavery, to fully understand the extent of slavery. And I found in research that Africans came from kingdoms. They were very smart, they were very rich, they were advanced, and they were taken from their homes, forcibly taken from their homes, and that took away their identity. So for like Nanny, she's saying kind of the same thing. She didn't know who she was, really. She didn't know where her past came from, so that was taken away. She's basically telling Janie kind of the same thing, in my opinion, that to survive, you have to lose your whole identity as who you are as a woman. And Janie was not like that. And she did try to break out that cycle of family dysfunction, of losing your voice. Nanny lost her voice because of slavery. Mother lost her identity because of being raped at such a young age and having a baby at such a young age. She ran away. Janie didn't want that. She wanted to make her own choices, not be confined to standards, society standards at least. So, but when she did try to run away, to try to avoid that cycle of dysfunction, it backfired because she left Logan for a second husband who was abusive, and he was a very dominant personality, and he beat the life out of her, like her will, I guess you can say. So in the end, she did submit to the standards her grandmother taught her to survive. You have to be quiet. You have to lose your voice. You have to lose who you are to survive in that time. And I also talked about in my paper, I want to bring up briefly, I didn't just talk about the slavery in Janie and Nanny's time, which is like early 20th century, I believe. I also talked about like current America right now, and how generations from before have affected generations today. Like with domestic violence, it like can go through the family, and with alcoholism, it can go through the family, and it affects each generation. I just want to point out, I just did some statistics, and I'll read one. For a 2013 study, in a study of 1,600 Americans, 4 out of 5 families whose parents were involved with intimate partner violence had adult children who committed violence, and 78% of children say that they have been a victim of minor incidents of partner violence. In another 2013 study, family alcoholism statistics, that got erased. But in America, an estimated 28 million children have alcoholic parents, and nearly 14 million American adults abuse alcohol and alcoholism. But the point of this, and the point how it ties back in with my story of Janie and Nanny, is that it affects each mistake from the past does come back and haunt, and it hinders current generations now. Because it's hard to break away from domestic violence, and it's hard to break out of the cycle of alcoholism. There's programs today that could help, but there were not programs for Janie or Nanny or her mom, Janie's mother, before. And my opinion is, I think I made it clear, but I do think past mistakes or past actions from earlier generations can definitely come back and haunt current generations today. Thank you.